Today we will be discussing about adjusting entries. So adjusting entries, that would be the step 5 of the accounting cycle. Okay, so after we do our unadjusted trial balance class, our balances in unadjusted trial balance is not yet final. There are balances that needs to be adjusted at the end of the accounting period to really reflect the total amount of then for each account. Okay, so why do a company needs to have an adjusting entries? Adjusting entries, these are journal entries made at the end of an accounting period to update accounts before preparing financial statements. They ensure revenues and expenses are recorded in the correct period under the accrual basis of accounting. So why do we need to do adjusting entry then? This is to match revenues with expenses. So it means that we only recognize expenses then classed when the revenue has been earned. Okay? The second one, we have to record revenues when earned and expenses when incurred, not when cash is received or paid. So I think I have already discussed this one in the previous meeting, that we only recognize a revenue then if the services has been rendered or if the goods has been delivered. And we only recognize expense if the expenses are used or incurred. Okay, so that is the reason why we do adjusting entries, because in our unadjusted trial balance class, naaman going mga balances nga gi-recognize nato as asset. However, at the end of the accounting period, ato na di siyang nagamit. So we need to recognize expense for that. Or natin mga unearned revenue nga at the end of the accounting period kay na perform din nato ang service ni customer or na-deliver na din nato ang goods ni customer. So we need to record revenue for that then, and for some other reasons. Okay, so we need to differentiate then between cash versus accrual basis. In the cash basis class, it talks about the cash flow then, meaning we under the cash basis principle, the company will recognize income if they receive money, and the company will recognize expense if they disburse or magbayad sila. So, regardless if the income has been earned, or regardless kung expense kinagamit, kung nakadawat na sila kwarta, or kung nakabayad na sila cash, that is a revenue or that is an expense then. That is under cash basis. Under accrual basis class, revenues are recorded when earned, regardless of when cash is received. So this is actually what I have been repeatedly telling you then in the previous meeting, that we only recognize revenue class if it is earned. We say it is earned kung atong na render ang service or kung atong na deliver ang goods. Expenses are recorded when incurred, regardless on when cash is paid. So meaning, regardless class kung nibayad ka daan or wala pa kakabayad, kung nagamit na nimo ang kanang expense, then it will be recognized as an expense then. So if nibayad ka daan, yung wala pa nimo na nagamit ang expense, then that will not be considered as an expense. Or kung wala pa kakabayad, pero na-incur din ng mga expense, then you're going to recognize that expense then. That is under accrual basis. So for cash basis class, these are normally used by small businesses. Say for example, mga sari-sari store or mga sole proprietorship na ginagmay lang. Okay, then again, they are cash basis kaya they only recognize income kung makadawat sila sa kwarta. They will recognize expense kung magbayad sila or makagasto sila. However, for accrual basis of accounting class, it would be used by most company desks. Most company that would include corporations or partnership or even sole proprietorship, which has a big company then. So they are required to follow then the generally accepted accounting principle or the standards set by the International Financial Reporting Standard Council. Okay? So what are the accounting principles used under adjusting revenue recognition principle? This is actually what I just mentioned earlier, that revenue is only recognized when it is earned, and the matching principle, whereas expense are recognized at the moment the revenue is earned. Accrual principle, I have already mentioned this one a lot of times, that under accrual principles, revenue is recognized when earned, expense is recognized when incurred or used then. So what are the timing of reports then that can be used in reporting the financial statement? It depends on the company. It can be monthly, quarterly. So for quarterly class, there are 3 months in a quarter and there are 4 quarters in a year. Okay? Semi-annually, that would be 6 months. And then for annually class, we have 2 types. We have calendar and then the fiscal. When you say calendar class, it means that it always starts at January and it will end at December. That is calendar year. When we say fiscal year, that may start any month of the year, but it will end after 12 months. Say for example, we have here, the fiscal year will start at September 1. So therefore, the fiscal year will end at August 31. Because again, after 12 months, that is August 31 on the following year. So if the fiscal year will start at September 1, 2024, therefore, the fiscal year will end at August 31, 2025. Okay? That's the difference between calendar and fiscal year. Okay, we now proceed then to the types of adjustments. So there are actually lots of types of adjustment class, but for our discussion purposes, we will be just discussing 4 of them. The first one is deferral. Under deferral class, these are expense nga imong na bayaran pero wala pa nimo na used. Okay, prepaid expense, meaning nagbayad ka daan pero wala pa nimo na gamit. So if that's the case, it is not yet an expense. So you call that one as deferrals. Another, revenues or nakadawat ka og kwarta, you have already received the cash but you have not yet rendered the service. So you call that one as well as deferral because it is not yet an income then. Okay, wala pa man ka naka-perform sa service pero nakadawat na ka sa kwarta. That is deferral. Okay? The next one is accrual. Accrual is the opposite of deferral then because under accrual class, revenues are received or are earned before cash. Meaning, naka-render na ka sa service or naka-deliver na ka sa good pero wala pa nimo na dawat ang kwarta or naka-earn, naka-revenue or income pero wala pa nimo na dawat ang kwarta. You call that one as accrual, accrued income. You have your accrued expense here, accrued liability when nagamit na nimo ang expense pero wala pa nimo na bayaran. That is accrual. Okay? Next one, we have depreciation. Depreciation class is what I have mentioned in the previous meeting. This happened then to non-current assets. Meaning, all your non-current assets class, building, machineries, equipment, vehicles, these non-current assets at the end of every month or every accounting period then, their value will actually depreciate. But there's only one non-current asset class nga dili mo depreciate ha, but mo appreciate ilang value, and that is the only land. It is the only land ang dili ubos ilang value class. Rather, ang land kay mo appreciate pa na mo taas iyang value. Unlike sa other non-current assets, their value will depreciate, meaning muubos ilang value as the time goes by. And you call that one as depreciation then. The next one, we have bad debts expense. Bad debts expense class, these are uncollectible accounts receivable, meaning this is actually what I have mentioned as well in the previous meeting. Only when the customer doesn't have the intention to pay their utang sa iyong company, or you can no longer contact the customer, meaning their accounts receivable will become doubtful to be collected then. Ikaduduaan naman nga makollect pa ninyo. If that's the case, then you recognize bad debts expense or bad debts accounts for that. Okay? So right now, we will start discussing each of the type of adjustment then. We will start with the deferrals. Deferrals class, there are two types of deferrals. We have what we call the prepaid expense and unearned revenues. Under prepaid expense class, mo niya kong i-mention ganina, nga expenses that are already paid but not yet used. Meaning, nibayad na kadaan pero wala pa nimo na gamit. Prepaid expense. Unearned revenue class is you have already received the cash but you have not yet earned the revenue or the income. Meaning, nakadawat na kagkwarta pero wala pa ka ni perform sa service or wala pa ka ni deliver sa good. You call that one as unearned revenue. We'll have first prepaid expense. So the pro forma for the prepaid expense class is this one. Okay, that would be the date for the end of the accounting period. The date class, if you're doing adjusting entry class, would be the last day of the accounting period. So if the last day of the accounting period is September, if the accounting period is September, then the last day would be September 13. If that is December, then the last day would be December 31. So the date here is September 30 or September 31. It depends on the end of the accounting period. So under prepaid expense class, you will always debit expense and you are always going to credit prepaid assets. Then hashtag to record expired or used portion of the asset. Class under prepaid expense class, there are actually two types of there are two methods. We have the asset method and we also have the expense method. But for my class discussion, we will only be talking about asset method. Okay, since we're running out of time, and I will be just focused then on the most common method being used then, and that is the asset method. And under the asset method class, what you are measuring here is ang nagamit na nimo. Nagamit nga expense. So, pila na di ay imong nagamit nga expense. That is what you measure then under the asset method. Because under the expense method, what you measure here is pila ang wala pa nagamit nimo nga expense. Okay? Are we clear? Again, remember, this is the pro forma for the asset method class. Debit, expense, credit, prepaid expense. So you just need to put the first name here of the asset. For example, kung insurance, you put here insurance expense. Dayon, prepaid insurance. Kung rent siya, then you put rent expense. Dayon, prepaid rent. Okay, let us have an example here, class. On April 30, 2024, Toledo Company paid $36,000 worth of insurance premium for 2 years. Give the adjusting entry on December 31, 2024. So, of course, on April 30, class, our journal entry for that would be debit prepaid insurance, kay acquire man ka, nipalit man kag insurance, credit, cash, kay mo siyang gibayad into cash. Dayon, hashtag to record purchase of insurance for 1 year. Okay, so on December 31, our adjusting entry for that, again, the date for it will be the date of the last date of the accounting period. In this case, that is December 31. Since this is an insurance, so therefore you debit insurance expense, you credit prepaid insurance, 12,000. The record expired portion of insurance. Sir, how did you get 12,000? Again, under the asset method or under this method class, atong gi-measure pila naman atong nagamit. Pila naman ang na-expire. Remember, ang gi-purchase nimo nga insurance class is only good for 2 years. And you will be insured within 2 years from the date you have acquired it, that is April 30. So remember, imong gipalit ang insurance pag April 30 and that is good only for 2 years. And remember, starting from April 30, your insurance have already taken effect. Meaning, from April 30 to December 31, you have been insured already. So therefore, na-expired na ang portion sa imong insurance from April 30 to December 31. Therefore, you're going to record the expired insurance. How do you do that? First thing that you're going to do, class, is to get the monthly expense. So, pila gina ka years ang naa sa 2 years? At pila ka months ang naa sa 2 years? That would be 24 months. Tagpila gani ang insurance? That is 36,000. 36,000 divided by 24 months, ang monthly payment day nimo supposedly sa imong insurance is 1,500. And then again, we are measuring here pila man ang atuang nagamit. So you count the date. That would be April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That is 8 months in total. Therefore, 8 months ang nagamit na during the year. So 8 months times 1,500 per month. Therefore, ang total nga nagamit for this month is, for this year is 12,000 ang na-use. So your amount for that is 12,000, 12,000. Okay? Are we clear? Okay. Let us now proceed to the next transaction. And class, by the way, just a tips here. Diba, nag-count man ko, when I count the month sa April 30, nag-start ko sa May. So when do you count it, sir, na mag-start ka sa May? And when will you count it kung mag-start ka sa the day of the transaction then? If the transaction class happens on a 1 to 15, meaning any days nga nag-start from 1 to 15, mag-start ka count from the month of the transaction. Say for example, katong insurance, kung nahitabo na siya pag April 5 class, meaning imong pag-count mag-start sa April. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That is 9 months. Kung nag-start siya between 1 to 15. But if nag-start siya between 16 to 31, then you start counting on the following month of the transaction. Mautong ganina. Ganina nag-start siya pag ang transaction happens on April 30. That is why I started counting from May, the next month of the transaction, instead of April. Because again, it's April 30. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, that is 8 months. Okay? That is the tips in counting these months. Why is it important? It is very important, class, because a single month nga imong na-overcount or na-undercount will underestimate or overestimate then the amount of each account. Okay? Are we clear? Good. Let's proceed to the next transaction. On September 1, RW Company paid a 1-year advance rent for 60,000. Give the adjusting entry on December 31, 2022. We debit on September 1 class nibayad ta sa 1-year advance payment. Nibayad ta daan og 1-year advance. So pagka September 1, debit ta prepaid rent, kaya again, prepaid siya, kanibayad magkadaan. Credit, cash, kaya magibayad, kay cash magid na, di ba? 60,000. To record, 1 year advance payment for rent. Sa atong adjusting entry class on December 31, which is the last day, the last day of the end of the accounting period, December 31, again, as what I have said, mag-debit kay expense, credit ka og prepaid asset. So our asset here is rent, so we debit rent expense. Our credit here is prepaid rent, so we credit prepaid rent, 20,000. Sir, how did we get 20,000? It's just the same class. Compute tagpila man ang monthly payment niya. So in 1 year, there are 12 months. Pila ging total gibayaran? 60,000. 60,000 divide 12 months, that is 5,000 per month. Pila na gani ang nagamit niya? Nag-start siya bayad pagka September 1. That is good for 1 year. So September 1 to December 31, kay nagamit na niya ang rental. So you count that. Since it starts from 1, so you start counting from the date or from the month the transaction happened. That is September. September, October, November, December. 4 months have been used then for the rental. Therefore, 4 months times 5,000 per month, that is 20,000. Okay? Are we clear? Perfect. Next, prepaid expense supplies. Among the other deferrals class, ang supplies may pinaka-unique. Diba sa rent o sa insurance, nag-count man kasi ang month, no? Kay, as the month passed, you have already, the asset have already expired or nagamit na nimo ang asset. However, sa supplies class, di na magdepende kung pila ka months ang nilabay. Magdepende na kung pila ang nagamit or pila ang nibilin nga supplies. Again, what we're measuring here is pila man ang nagamit niya. Let us have an example here. On January 1, supplies account showed a balance of 10,000. On December 31, the supplies balance is 4,500. Of course, on January 1 class, what a journal entry ana? Kaya wala man ta ni palit og supplies. Gisultian naman ta pilay beginning balance ni supplies. So wala rin nahitabo nga transaction. No journal entry for that. Sa adjusting entry, still ang date is December 31 kay may last date of the accounting period. Debit, supplies expense, credit, supplies. You're not going to use prepaid supplies na class ha, because again, you cannot pay in advance supplies and you're not using it at the same time. Okay? So you need to buy the supplies first in order for you to record supplies, and that would not be prepaid. Mo nang lahi ang supplies sa others. Okay? So 5,500, 5,500. Sir, nganong 5,500 man? Pagka January 1, nisulti ang company nato nga 10,000 daw ang naa nila pag January 1. Pag December 31, ang naibilin nilang is 4,500. So meaning kung naibilin 4,500, niya 10,000 na siya pag January 1, pila man ang nagamit during the year. So 10,000 minus 4,500, that will give you 5,500 then. Maunay nagamit during the year. Okay? Are we clear? Okay. So that is for deferrals class. If you have question, you can raise that one during our class, and you can actually rewatch the video then. Next is we have that's deferrals under prepaid expenses. The next one is we have deferrals under unearned revenue. Again, unearned revenue class, these are customer already paid, but services have not yet been performed, or nibayad na si customer pero wala pa nimo perform ang service or wala pa nimo gi-deliver ang goods. You call that one as an earned revenue. An earned revenue, class, if you recall, it is a current liability. You have the obligations to fulfill your responsibility then to the customers since the customer have paid already. Okay? So sa may pro forma ana class, still the date, and you will always debit an earned revenue para makuhaan ang revenue, ang liability rather, then credit revenue para ma-recognize na kag revenue. Okay? Class, just like the prepaid asset, napay duha ka method ang unearned revenue. Natay the liability method, napatay income method. But for our discussion, we will only have liability method. Okay? For our subject. So under the liability method, class, imong gi-measure diri is ang imuhang revenue earned. Meaning, pila naman imong na-earned nga revenue, pila naman imong na-render nga service, or pila naman imong na-deliver nga goods. Ang income method, these are revenue unearned. Meaning, pila naman ang wala pa nimo na rendered ni customer. Pila na lang kuwang nimo ni customer. Or, pila na lang ka goods ang kuwangan nimo i-deliver ni customer. Income method. But then again, we will only focus on liability method. Okay? So again, pro forma for that, debit, unearned revenue, credit revenue. This is the recognized revenue then. Okay? Let us have an example here para masabtan. On October 1, Dr. Pina Asa received 80,000 for dental fees to be rendered in the next 8 months. Give the adjusting entry on December 31, 2024. In this case, class, si customer ni bayad ng 80,000, that is good for 8 months of dental service. Ni bayad si customer, pero si Dr. Pina Asa, wala pa siya ni perform sa service. So every month from the date of the transaction, si Dr. Pina Asa will perform the service then. So on October 1, our debit for that, since we received cash, so we debit cash. And since wala pa na ito na-perform ang service, that is a liability then nato sa tong customer. So we credit unearned service revenue. That is 80,000, what you have received. On December 31, class, our adjusting entry, we debit again an earned service revenue and credit service revenue. That is 30,000. To record adjustment on revenue or to record the revenue earned during the year. Sir, how did you get 30,000? Pila ang gibayad ni customer? That is 80,000. Good for how many months? That is only for 8 months. Therefore, customer is paying 10,000 per month. So, pagka-October 1, class, until December 31, si Dr. Pina Asa every month kinag-perform sa service. Therefore, pila naman ang na-perform nga amount ni Dr. Pina Asa? You count. October, since October 1 man siya, so mag-start account sa October. October, November, December. That is 3 months. So therefore, 10,000 per month times 3 months ang iyahang na rendered, that would give us 30,000. So mauna, itong revenue na earned during the year is 30,000. Our liability kay mo decrease pod og 30,000. Okay? Are we clear? Perfect. So let us now proceed then to the next type of adjustment, and that would be accruals. Under accruals class, there are 2 types of accruals. We have accrued revenues and accrued expense. Unsa man ang accrued revenue, sir? Mao ni ang revenue nga imong na-earn pero wala pa nimo nadawat ang kwarta ni customer. Meaning, ni-render na ka sa service or ni-deliver na ka sa goods pero wala pa kakadawat sa bayad ni customer. Accrued income. Or, revenue nimo nga na-earn, interest nga na-earn nimo, pero wala pa nimo nadawat ang bayad from the bank. You call that one as accrued revenue. Accrued expense class, expenses incurred but not yet paid. Meaning, nagamit na nimo ang expense pero wala pa nimo nabayaran. Accrued expense. Okay? It's just very easy, class. Let's focus first on the accrued expense. Performance accrued expense, class, would always be like this. The date, again, kung adjusting entry, ang date would be the end of the day or end of the end date sa kana nga accounting period. Kung December, December 31. Kung September, September 30. Just a quick reminder though. So debit, expense, credit, payable. Anong mo debit mo tag-expense, sir? Kaya again, nigamit na ta sa expense. Anong mo credit mo tag-payable, sir? Kaya again, nigamit ka sa expense, pero wala pa ka kabayad. So you credit, payable. Okay? To record expense incurred but not yet paid. Let's have an example for this. Kapina company received the VECO bill for the month with the amount of 8,000 on December 24. So meaning, pag December 24, class, nakadawat na ka sa bill, pero wala pa niya gibayran. Kaya wala man gi-mention din nga gibayran, and you cannot assume nga gibayran siya. Therefore, pag December 31, imo nang i-adjust. So December 31, you debit, expense, kaya nagagamit mo ka sa expense, utilities expense, you credit, utilities payable, kay wala pa man nimo nabayaran. And just the amount, cause just copy the amount. There's no need for computation on that. Imo na i-copy kung pilang amount. 8,000, 8,000. Okay? So you're just simply recording the expense that has not yet been paid. And that's it. As easy as that. Utilities ang na-adri, class, that is why we use utilities. If that would be salaries, then you use salaries expense, salaries payable. If that would be taxes, you use tax expense, tax payable. Again, it depends. Okay, basta maura na yung proforma. The next one, class, we have accrued income. Under the accrued income class, we debit accrued income class, if we recall, these are income earned but not yet paid. Meaning, nakadawat na ka, imo nang na-render ang service, imo nang na-deliver ang goods, pero wala pa kakadawat sa bayad. Accrued income. Or, na-earn na nimong income, pero wala pa kakadawat sa bayad. Let's have an example here. Mainhead received on June 30, 2024, a 1-year 6% notes receivable in the amount of 100,000. Interest and principal are payable on maturity dates. This is an example, class, of ang customer kay naiutang ni Mainhead Company. Dayon, in the form of notes receivable. And that notes receivable, class, kinay interest na nagtubo. Di ba, kung mangutang ka, kinaman siya kay interest. So, mauna din, 6% daw. So, every year, class, magkatubo ay naki-interest nga ma-earn. However, ang ibutang din, ang interest daw o ang principal kay mabayaran daw siya on maturity date. So, after 1 year pa, June 30, 2025. But, pag June 30 to December 31 class, nanay interest nga na-earn, pero wala pag ibayran. Kaya again, bayran na siya after 1 year. So, we recognize here an accrued income. With debit, interest receivable, again, date December 31, we credit interest revenue. Nganong receivable man siya, sir? Kay, dawatunon pa man nato ni customer inig ka next year. Nganong revenue man siya, sir? Kay na-earn naman siya nato pag June 30 to December 31. So, pila man, sir? 3,000. How did you get that, sir? Apply the basic business mathematics about how to get interest. That would be principal times rate times time. Pila ang principal? Dara, 100,000. Pila ang rate? Dara, 6%. Pila ka year? That would be 1/2 of year or 0.5. How did you get 0.5, sir? June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months is 1/2 of the year. Manang 1/2 iyang gibutang dira class. Okay? 100,000 times 6% times 1/2, that would be 3,000. And that is how we get the 3,000 then. Are we clear? Okay, that's good then. Let us proceed with the next one. Depreciation expense. Under depreciation expense class, depreciation expense is the allocation of plant asset over cost, or allocation of plant asset cost over its estimated useful life. This is the expense allotted for the wear and tear of PPE due to passage of time. So as what I have mentioned earlier, only the land ang dili mo depreciate. The rest of the non-current asset class, as the passage of time, mo gamay ilang value. So we record depreciation expense. What would be the pro forma for that, sir? Just the date, same gihapon ng date, the end of the accounting period. Then always debit depreciation expense, always credit accumulated depreciation. Sir, how do we get the amount? Simply, the cost, tagpila man ang asset, pagpalit nimo. Salvage value, pila man ang value ni asset at the end of its useful life. For example, imong asset is only good for 5 years. Pila may estimated niya nga value after 5 years. That is salvage value. But do not worry class, salvage value will always be given. But kung walay salvage value nga gihatag, automatic zero iyahang salvage value ha. Again, kung walay gihatag, automatic zero. Pero kung gihatag yung salvage value, you use the salvage value then. And cost less salvage value, that would be depreciable cost ang tawag ana. So nag-minus nimo sa cost o sa salvage value class, tawag nimo ana depreciable cost. Next is estimated useful life, meaning good for pila raman kay years ang kana nga asset. Mo nang estimated useful life. It will also be given in the problem class, so do not worry about that. Depreciable cost divided by the estimated useful life, then that would be the annual depreciation. When you say annual class, iyang 1 year nga depreciation. So mao ni siya ang mo pop up the redan nga amount sa depreciation expense o sa accumulated depreciation. Okay? That is how you compute for the annual depreciation. Are we good? Perfect. Let's proceed. The company purchased an equipment last January 2, 2024. The equipment is costing 1,400,000 with a salvage value of 200,000 and a useful life of 5 years. Pagka January 2 class nagpalit tag equipment, therefore we debit equipment, we credit cash 1,400,000, 1,400,000 to record purchase of equipment. Adjusting entry from January 2 to December 31, ni-depreciate na ang value ng equipment. So, we debit depreciation expense, we credit accumulated depreciation to record depreciation of equipment. Sir, how did we get 240,000? By just following the format I gave earlier. Pila may cost? 1,400,000. Pilang salvage value? 200,000. Cost minus salvage value, that would be your depreciable cost of 1,200,000. Pila estimated useful life? Dara, 5 years. 1,200,000 divided by 5 years, that would be 240. Sir, around 240 months, sir. Kay 12 months man ang ilabay. Ipalit ka pag January, so you count January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 12 months. So 240 times 12 months divided by 12, that would be 240 then. That is why we use here 240. What if, sir, gipalit na mong equipment pagka March 1? So if March 1 mo gipalit ang equipment class, you just count March 1, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 10 months done. Okay? If that's 10 months, just simply 240 man yung annual depreciation times 10 months divided by 12 months. Always good na ang denominator plus kay 12 months. Kaya again, this is annual depreciation. So, pila mo na? 240 times 10 divided by 12. That will give you how much? So, in your calculator, I don't know how much is that, class. I don't have a calculator here. But you compute for that, and that would be then the amount here nga mo pakita kung March. But since January man siya, so we use 240. Diba? It's just as easy as that, class. It's just that you need to familiarize the process then and understand para dili ka masaag along the way. Okay? Are we clear? If you have questions, raise it during our face-to-face class then. Okay? We'll proceed to the bad debts. Bad debts, class, is what I have mentioned earlier. These are uncollectible account. Kano uncollectible account man siya, sir? Because customer doesn't have the intention to pay the utang they have anymore. Or wala sila balak mo bayad sa ilang utang. Ano we recognize bad debts for that? Ano mo recognize mo tag bad debts, sir? Para atong ma-reduce ang value ni accounts receivable. Kaya accounts receivable, that represents your collectible. However, na-nine uncollectible account, meaning wala na ka na-expect na makollect pa nimo. So therefore, you need to reduce your accounts receivable. How do you do that? The pro forma, class, the date, again, the date of the adjusting date or the end of the accounting period, you debit bad debts expense, you credit allowance for bad debts. Hashtag to record estimated uncollectible accounts. Let's have an example here. It's very easy to get, class. Friend Zone Company has a total balance of 200,000 for its accounts receivable. On December 31, it has been estimated that 10% of it is uncollectible. Meaning, 10% daw sa 200,000 kay dili na makolekta. Meaning, si customer kay ni-default na sa pagbayad. So, what would be our entry for that? December 31, debit, bad debts expense, credit, allowance for bad debts. Then, 20,000. How do we get 20,000, sir? Pila gani ang accounts receivable, class? How much is supposedly the collectible amount? 200,000. Pila ang estimated nga dili makolekta? 10%. Therefore, 200,000 times 10%, that would be 20,000. And that's how you get the amount. Class, then collectible will always be indicated in the problem. So, dali na siya pag-solve sa amount then. Okay? That's how easy it is. Diba? Very easy to get your class for as long as you understand the concept, you know why do we need to do this, and why do we need to do that. And everything will be smooth and easy then. Okay? Are we clear? So, again, if you do have questions or clarifications, raise that one during our face-to-face classes. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you've learned something from today's video discussion. Goodbye, and God bless.